Now that we have the top, we're going to make the sides. To do that, we're going to go over here, click the drop down next to the new paper, choose part, make a 2D sketch. This time we're going to choose the XY plane, so it's like we're looking at a side. Right click and choose 2-point rectangle. Again, click on that little dot in the middle, and we want this to be 9.25, same as the other one, and the height is 10 inches. So I use tab to go between the two. I hit enter when I'm done. So we should have 9.25, 10 inches, and I'm going to hit E on my keyboard to extrude and make that 0.75. This is the size board you're going to start with, and actually you would tape two of these boards together and cut them both out at the same time, but we're just going to do one at a time. So click on this so it's blue, right click and choose new sketch. Right click again and choose project geometry. That'll give you the yellow lines around the outside, so you can do stuff with that. Right click and choose line. We're going to draw a line that goes across the top here. We're going to draw another line that goes from the top of this down to the bottom. We're going to draw another line that goes a little bit up from the bottom across to the other side. And we're going to draw one more line just above it. Okay. Going from right to left, we're going to draw a box around all that. Right click and choose construction. We're going to dimension from, well, not from there. We're going to dimension from the bottom up to here and call that 1 inch. From the bottom to the next line, we'll call that 1.75 inches, 1 3/4. From the bottom up to this line is going to be 7 3/8, which you guys are passing my fraction quiz, you know that's 375. We're going to make a circle here. The radius is 5/8, so I know this is 1.25 in diameter. I want another one here. I'm going to do the same trick as before. I'm going to use equal. I say that that is equal to that. I get the two little symbols down here, so I know it worked. And I'm going to, well, I meant to put in a couple extra lines, but that's okay. I can do it just like this. I'm going to right click and choose line. Make a couple little ones. It doesn't really matter where they are, because I'm going to dimension, choose dimension, from the edge to the green line, go down, and say that's 1.5 over. And I want it to be symmetrical, so it's going to be 1.5 from this side as well. Okay, we are going to make an arc from this point to this one, and it's going to stop at this line. And right click and choose line. We want to go from the top of this circle to the top of this one, the bottom of this circle to the bottom of this one, and if we dimension over, this is 3 3/8. This is 5 7/8. You can just type in fractions like this and it will fix it for you. It's kind of nice. We're going to say OK, right click and choose trim, right, get rid of the circle pieces that are on the inside of the slot, and right click and choose line. We're going to draw an extra line there to there. So now we should have dark blue lines. We have our arc that it's still green. Normally green is bad. The way that we're doing it, it's fine. Don't worry about it. If you're following along with me, we're doing a good job. Hit E on your keyboard, and oh, I hate it when that happens. Okay, so if you try and click and it selects everything, hold down Shift and click again. It will unselect it. Now, see how it's kind of glitching out on me? If I right click, I can go to Select Other, and I can choose which one of the two things I want. This time it's highlighting that for me. That's the one I actually wanted. This is getting glitchy too, so I'm going to right click, select other. I want that part of the profile body. Those should both be cuts. Say OK. And we're going to add fillets, 1/4 inch fillets, not 1/8 inch. Not all the way around this time. I don't want the legs to rock on me. So I'm not going to put on this bottom part here or here. Now if you jumped ahead and you did click that, again just hold down Shift, click on that line again, that unselects. So if you hold down Shift to click something, it'll undo it for you. Okay, that looks good. Flip that back around. We're going to change this material type back to cherry again, because that just looks nice. And we're going to save this as side.